Welcome to the A-420 Parallax C Functions. Try it in your turn, Part A. First thing we're going to do is modify an existing program, and we're going to put a counter in there. We're going to count from 1 to 5, increment by 1, and we should get 5 hellos and hello again from the main. Here we have our running function call. It's called function call.side, and it is working. So let's go ahead and modify this here. So we're going to insert a for next loop, and we're going to enclose this guy in braces. And let's put in our for next loop. For integer I equals 1. We're going to start at 1, semicolon, and I is less than or equal to 5. We're going to stop at 5, semicolon, and I plus plus, we're going to increment by 1, and we're not going to use a semicolon there because it is a counter, so it doesn't need one. And that looks good, and we should get 5. So let's go ahead and run it. We get 5 and hello from main, so it's working perfectly. Okay, here's our first assignment. So we're going to open it and save it as something else, and then we're going to add a goodbye function, and we need to do it 10 times, and of course we're going to need to have a forward declaration. So let's get started. Okay, here's our semi-original function call, so let's save it as, I'm going to call it function call mod. Oops. And let's get rid of our modification 1. Good. And let's just change this up here to mod. Good. And we're going to need a forward declaration. So let's go ahead and just copy and paste that. And we're going to call him goodbye. Okay, and we need to go to 10, so let's change that 5 to a 10. And let's just copy and paste this whole thing. Call this goodbye. Okay, and we're going to say goodbye from function. Okay, and that looks good. We need to add another function call for our goodbye. Okay. How about we just go ahead and we put in a hello. We'll say goodbye from me too. I'm not sure if it's asking for that, but let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's run it. And it's not working. Okay, so why isn't it working? Well, I forgot to put braces around both of these. We could do for next loop with just one, it'll do it. But if you have more than one, you need to put braces around it. So I made a basic brace mistake. So let's run it again. I think this will fix it. And that's it for this time. That worked. Here's our function with parameters, and I'm going to make the modifications that the lab requested, and I'll be back. Here's our modified function with the result, and it works. Okay, we're going to modify our function with parameter in order to do a counter from start value, in value, and our increase value. Okay, and your loop should start with this, and we'll go ahead and take care of that. Okay, we're back to our program. I saved as function with parameter mod so we don't write over the basic program. And we can write it from scratch, or we could go ahead and just go ahead and modify that. I'm going to go ahead and modify this program. So we have void. Let's just write over that. We're going to go counter. And we're going to set integer start val, our start value, semicolon, excuse me, comma, integer in value, and to be consistent, let's go ahead and change this to a capital V, and another comma, integer increase value, and let's go ahead and put a semicolon, oops, semicolon, and let's get rid of this one. Good, that's good for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and start a new function here. So let's go ahead, I'm just going to copy this guy. Good, and we don't need this function. And we're going to need a counter function here. So and let's see here. We're going to start at 25, end at 55, and we're going to go up by 1. Now that's good for now. We don't need this function value. And so let's go ahead and add our counter here. So we have 4 integer I equals start value, semicolon, I, so let's do less than or equal to inval, semicolon, and we're going to go I equals, excuse me, I equals I plus increase value. Okay, and then we're going to print something out here in a second. So, okay, so let's go ahead and let's do a print statement here. Let's just copy and paste this. And we'll come back and fix that. So here we want to print I. And I'm going to put, I'm just going to put value equals. And that way we could, and let's just put in I. Okay, so up here, let's print out all of them here. So let's print out start val. So that way we could tell where we're beginning. And let's go ahead and this would be end val. And put a comma in there. And this guy would be increment val. And we're going to put a space, so we're going to need start val, comma, end value. And this guy's going to be increment value. Well, let's run it and see what we got here. And it looks pretty good. Let's go through here. We got start val 25, end val 55, increment 1. So we're going 25, 26. Yep. And we're counting to 55 and we stop. Good. Okay, for fun, let's go ahead and change these values. So we have 10. Let's go up by 3. 55 is not divisible by 3, so let's see, how about, yeah, well, we're not going to stop at 7. Let's see what happens. Ten, 13, 16, and it stops at 55. 3, I'll be doggone. It actually is divisible by 3 in this way case. Okay.